My next guest has served our community, yours and mine, so wonderfully for such a long period of time. Tina Baldwin is WA's longest-serving crisis support volunteer, and I do believe tomorrow is a special day because there's an element of recognition coming. So I'm not going to say that she's superhuman. I'm just going to say she's normal, but she cares for a lot of people. Hello, Tina.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'd love to say you're superhuman, but I'm not going to. How did you get started with helping Lifeline WA?
Oh my gosh, that's such a long story. Graham Mabry was the catalyst for, all of this. You probably know that Graham used to run a program at 6PR Studios called Nightline.
Yes, I know. Well, as a matter of fact, the Nightshift is the version of Nightline, so I'm sort of doing his slot. And Graham is a hero as far as I'm concerned on so many different levels. How did Graham get in touch with you and get you involved? What happened? I love this story.
Okay, so what happened was that Graham knew my husband in a previous life, and he contacted my husband. They'd done some work together in 1980 and said, this is what I'm doing. I'd love to, can you come in and help me? I'm doing this at the studio, doing a program called Nightline, Talkback, etc. And my husband said, that's lovely, fantastic, Graham, you're so amazing, but I'm now married. And Graham said, that's okay, bring your wife.
Wow. So the two of you went in to show support initially?
Yes, so we went into the studios at 6PR and we sat in the studio. Graham was doing his Nightline program, but he would encourage his listeners, if they wanted to talk to someone, not on air, that they could ring a certain number, and we were there, and we used to pick up the phone and listen.
Do you have any idea, I mean, that was about 40 years ago, is that right?
That's correct, yeah, 40 years tomorrow.
Wow. 40 years tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow something special is happening, and I'm not going to sort of, because are you a little bit nervous about tomorrow, or are you just thinking, it's another day, I'll get another cup of tea and away we go?
No, I am actually, because, we don't do this for us. We do this, because there's so many people. Yeah, there's so many people out there who are hurting, and I am nervous about it because I don't like any. I'm sure the people at Lifeline will tell you I'm not into the limelight stuff. Anyway,
the simplest way of putting this is that, and I was told this by someone far wiser than myself, that any award that you get is only as important as the people that it represents. So if you win a People's Award, you are representing the people, so it's an honour because the people are supporting you. If it's a peers award, etc. But the acknowledgement you're getting tomorrow is from so many people that you have helped and from people that have watched you help others. So take it with honour and pride and lots of love, Tina, because it's a very special day for you. Enjoy the cup of tea. And just know that you are surrounded by people that love you so much, and you've been doing it for 40 years. Do you have any idea how many calls you might have taken?
Oh, well, that's so hard to even guesstimate. It depends on, sometimes on a shift you might take 4, sometimes you might take 8. The shifts are normally 4 hours long. And, we can't do more than that because they can be quite,
intense.
Yes. Yeah. And we need to give the best to the people who call in.
Quite true. And I keep underlining Lifeline WA 13, 11, 14 on this radio show called The Night Shift, which is,
Absolutely.
which is Graham's time slot, but Graham was here many, many moons ago. But my philosophy is to remind people that it is non-judgmental. It is, it's very private. You don't have to give away too many details. It's just a listening ear. 100% correct?
Absolutely. We don't ask for any, we don't know people, we don't ask names, we don't do any of that. It's just about, whatever people feel comfortable with, and hopefully we can connect with them and just be there to listen to them, and that's it.
It's that beautiful saying that we have heard as children, a problem shared is a problem halved. And hopefully that resonates with people.
I hope so. I really hope so, yeah. it's very humbling sometimes. Well, it's very humbling to listen to people's life.
And I'm not going to ask you about the discussions that you've had because they are all private.
No.
And again, it's not something that we discuss. But again, it's wonderful to think that Lifeline WA is there. And it's changed. Well, yeah, it has. It's changed so much from when it first was instigated so many years ago. And yet it's the same as it has always been. What do you find? I mean, that element of love and concern and caring for other people has always been there, but it has grown exponentially, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Look, it has grown, but the thing that's always remained the same is that the people who work at the off, who help to support the volunteers who are on the phones are there and they do support us. And even though it's grown, the ethos is still the same. That has not changed. We still believe in what Graham talked about all those years ago. And it's just about no judgment and just there to listen, and there but for the grace of you-know-who, go we.
Oh, look, there but for the grace of God, go I. And I think that caring and loving is something that we can do whether we have faith or not. I'm very much aware that in this world that we live in at the moment, we need to be kind to one another. Sometimes it is hard because that frustration button gets pushed a lot in normal life. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people do ring Lifeline WA because they're frustrated to the max. And the training that golly gosh, I'm just thinking 40 years ago when you first started, Tina, was it training on the job or did you get a little bit of advice before you took the first phone call?
Oh, well, look, it was training on the job in those days.
Yes.
But it had grown so much now that the Lifeline family does train their volunteers a lot. We do a lot of training. We have a lot of, feedback and all of the stuff to support our volunteers as much as to support those crisis people who call in, it's just an amazing place to work in. When you walk in, you can feel the warmth. Yeah,
that's beautiful, isn't it? And that's absolute gold. From the other point of view too, you have people within our community that ring 13, 11, 14, Lifeline WA, and they talk to someone such as yourself, a volunteer. Don't have to give names, don't have to give too much information, just, sit and talk to someone as a caring philosophy. But there's also... I would assume with great respect that there are people who are volunteering and are taking those calls. For example, have there been any moments for you, Tina, where you've stepped back and thought, look, I need to talk to someone myself? Has that been available to you? I would assume yes.
Yes, absolutely. We have at Lifeline. They supply us with people that we can talk to, and we do have to have sessions where throughout the year, each year, we do all of that. We debrief with everyone. We talk about without specifics.
Yeah.
The kind of calls that we get, the kind of things. When sometimes you walk away and you think, well, could I have done that better? Could I have helped that person in some way better? So yes, of course we do. We need to be able to debrief and talk to, and Lifeline make all of those people available to us.
Good on you. Tina Baldwin, tomorrow will be a very special day. Lifeline WA boardroom. That's in Subiaco Square Road in Subiaco. So if anyone is interested in volunteering, here is a wonderful moment to see this magical lady, Tina Baldwin, who has been there for 40 years. And I've done some math. I reckon you've taken over 33,000 phone calls.
Yes, I believe that's the stats that have come up, and I'm blown away.
So am I.
Blown away.
So am I. I thought my family members were pretty good on the phone, but boy, you've had an absolute win. But I love what you have done for our community. It's ours. All of us together are living in one community and trying to get through this mad life that we're leading at the moment. You deserve more than just a cup of tea and a morning tea tomorrow. But Tina Baldwin, God bless you. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the caring. Thank you to Graham Mabry for saying, hey, come and join in.